I got one thing to say about her. I like her and I kept her, so that should tell you everything.
Yes. Oh, I got that answered.
I think that the big takeaway here is that she's kept you, okay?
We'll let him think what he wants to think.
Today on Metaphysical Mississippi, we have Scott and Melanie, owners of Soul Synergy. Welcome to Metaphysical Mississippi. I'm Emily and Krista, and we have Scott and Melanie, owners of Soul Synergy. They are located in Flowood, Mississippi. Well, Scott and Melanie, we're so excited to have y'all here with us today. What I'd like y'all to share is what you do, where they're first, around when they were younger. When did you first feel that you were different, or when did woo-woo? You're like, ooh, I think I'm woo-woo, or ooh, this is different, or I think differently than others around me, or maybe everybody around you did think the same way, but when, and then somewhere you can also just share a little bit about when did you hear of Metaphysical Mississippi, and then first hear about it and then share as much background as you want about your past, if you'd like, and what has led you to what you're doing now. And okay, so let's go.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, so you two are married. We know that.
Yes.
How long have y'all been running Soul Synergy now? Has it been
6 months?
6
7
months.
months, maybe? Yes.
Well, we bought it the 1st of July.
Yep.
1st of
Are
July?
you serious? The 1st of July.
2022. So it seems like forever, just to be honest with you.
So when did you make your first contact or connection with Soul Synergy?
5, 6 years ago.
She was only open. Jill was only open, I think,
a year.
Maybe a year. 5 or 6 months.
Class.
She had one class before us, so we were early on in her time down at the old location.
Yes, back when Metaphysical was sitting around in a circle talking about everybody's business.
Y'all grown a lot since then, though. Lord have mercy, y'all grown.
So before Soul Synergy, did y'all have your own individual practices?
No.
Okay.
Now when we first got into this, we got it all set up that he had his business name and I was Claire the Psychic, and we did the psychic fairs, and he's had a couple of clients come out to our house because we have a decked out reading shed out there, which is really nice.
Had a bunch of people.
But then life kind of took over and this just kind of fell to the wayside, and we haven't really been a part of the metaphysical community.
We continued through this whole deal from the time when we first entered Soul Synergy Center a long time ago. We had our training and all this whatnot, but then of course COVID hit. Well, everybody knows COVID wiped everything out. Everybody was stuck in their houses and all that. Any work that either one of us did, like, she sort of went into hibernation for a while because God told her to, because of how would you say that?
I needed to raise my babies. It wasn't my time to shine. I stay at home mom all the way. So I just kind of stepped back and, of course you get the psychic intuitions and stuff like that you can't turn off, but I wasn't actually
you weren't working.
Practicing.
Yeah, she wasn't working.
Giving my 2 cents to people that didn't ask for it.
I was working.
Yes. So what brought y'all to Soul Synergy, and did y'all come about being introduced to Metaphysical Mississippi through Soul Synergy? What came first?
Yes.
Did y'all you went to Soul Synergy? So what brought you through the doors of what's now your new home?
Well, I have that answer.
It's like, the straight up truth is the answer. You got a reading because your ex-wife passed away. And then
this is the beginning of things, by the way.
He wanted a reading with Jill M. Jackson. So he got one. And during that reading, it was like, hey, son, you got some gifts, you got some gifts, you need to open these gifts up. And
I did.
I kind of just came along for the ride.
Now, I will say this. This is a question that you had told us earlier. I saw my first spirit behind the door of my home while I was playing hide and go seek when I was 5 years old. I was playing hide and go seek, and his red face appeared behind the door with me, scared me so bad I like to tore the door frame off. I've saw spirits my whole life. That's nothing unusual for me. Back in my military time, they used to walk around in my house all the time. I mean, visible spirits. I mean, you can see them. But so I've been acclimatized to this my whole life.
Mhm.
But far as the actual working with the community, not until I met Jill.
Mhm.
And
So-
through her, we got introduced to everything.
So Scott, since we're on that topic of your childhood, so how did you explain that to yourself, or was this something you shared with your parents or other family members, or what did you think it was? Did you want to have an understanding?
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw him, it scared me. But then I've seen him so often after that it was sort of like a common thing. And the first time I realized, I'm gonna say something here that's unusual.
Oh, we love
I
that.
never really thought it was a thing to do with me as a gift. I never took it as such. You get what I'm saying? It was just a
Mhm.
common occurrence.
Just normal.
Everywhere I went, there were spirits. And I was like, oh, no crap. Well, you scared me. You scared me. You scared me. You know, as a young kid, that was just par for the course.
That was your reality.
Yes. But whenever one day my brother and me got in a fight, and my mother intervened between the two of us, and she set my brother down in the kitchen, and she said, how dare you jump on your brother, blah, 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 you know, like that. And he looked at her and he said, don't you talk to me like that. Whenever he pointed towards the back wall, the candles all blew off the back wall. And I said, holy mackerel, he's got it too. And that's when I sort of took a deeper look. You get what I'm saying? At what was going on in my family. Me and my brother actually sat down later and talked about it. And we've talked about it in front of her many times. Through our whole life, we've had things around us, you know, things that happen to us and with us, and people we see, and or most people wouldn't see as it is.
Right.
I do want to add in that when this happened in front of his mom, she showed no reaction.
She looked
So
yeah.
in young kids' eyes, it's like, oh well, that didn't freak mom out. So that's
Was her only
definitely
reaction
normal.
was, don't you do that in front of me. You know, when the candles flew off the wall, she said, don't you do that in front of me, pointed at my brother. And I said, holy mackerel. So like I said, it appeared almost like it was something coming to my mother.
So
Yeah, normal.
she had an awareness of it, but really wasn't acknowledging it.
Yes,
Right.
there you go.
Very, very big Christian, reads the Bible every single day. So it was, we don't talk about it.
Right. Right. So Scott, do you feel like, you know, now that you're older and you've learned more, you've experienced more, do you, and you probably don't, you may not know the answer to this, but have you speculated whether this was a hereditary thing, or do you think it had something to do with the house you grew up in, or was it something that ran in your family of having these giftings and it just was not?
Oh, there's no question it ran in my family. My great grandmother was a medicine woman of the Wolf Clan out of Cherokee Nation. She had serious skills. Yeah, my mother, whether she says it or not, has told me things throughout my life that says she has them, but she never accepted them and actually hurt her. My father, everything about him was associated in a manner, but he wouldn't accept it.
Right.
You feel me? Nobody in my family but me and my brother would accept anything. And my brother, he fully accepts his. He just doesn't, he's not a worker, of course, like I am. But I'm the first one, to my knowledge, in a long, very long time to just work with it. But yeah, it's genetics.
So what side of your family was the Native American?
Yeah, that was on my daddy's side.
Oh.
So,
I
and
do
that was
find it-
something that when I found that out, I was really tripped out by it, because according to his side of the family, there was nothing. So to come to find out that, I was like, oh, the water's deeper here than you think.
Mhm.
Right, right. And we have a similar, well, we have Native American on both sides of our family, but it's more, was more discussed on my father's side of the family. So I want to ask you another personal question about your family. So, do you have Irish heritage also?
I do. I've got Irish, but I've also got Creek Indian and Choctaw.
Okay,
So-
we're related, I'm sure, because we've got, what do we have, Emily?
We're
Creek
Creek.
and Choctaw. What was mama?
We're
Choctaw?
Muskogee. Huh?
Muskogee.
We
I'm
might.
sorry, it's
Sorry.
go ahead.
On the Irish thing, I am actually more Irish than he is.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
this hair,
your
don't let it
kids
lie
don't
to
have
you.
a chance.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
this hair
funny,
should
yeah.
be black. I'm beginning to think that my mama played with somebody behind my back, that behind my daddy's back, nobody knows about, like the milkman. Because everybody in my family has black or dark hair except my mother. So
Yeah.
my hair comes from her. So
Right, yes, yes. But I know I've taken over the years, I'll take a deep dive into researching stuff, and which my research basically is Google and YouTube. But anyway, you know, I've come across a lot of people who have Native American and Irish
yep.
where that combination, that there's a lot of interesting, I don't know, well, maybe I don't want to use the word paranormal, but giftings or esoteric type.
You're right. Totally.
It's
Because
an
that was a
interesting.
lot of stuff took place.
Do what now?
That was a part of the world over there where a lot of good stuff took place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's almost feels like there's a significant. This is a whole other podcast. We'll put a pin in this and do another podcast, but that there's some special significance to those two different bloodlines. I don't know. But that's another podcast. We'll go play down that rabbit hole another
It's
day.
really not, but I do think you're right on that.
Yeah, it's interesting. But so Melanie, what about you? Did you have any experiences as a child, or
No.
Well, there was a couple of instances where I like thought I saw a ghost and got so scared I had to go sleep with my mama that night, like little weird things. But nothing in my childhood actually said right now that I would have known I had abilities. Like instinct wise, my gut, well, spirit wise, I am a medium, but I ain't like that type of medium. Like I can do it, but me, it's always been my intuition, my gut, my knowing that is why I agreed to do the psychic class. So it's just
She's a heck of a
growing
psychic.
up, all the women in my family, we knew when someone got hurt. We knew when we needed to call someone. Like we just knew, but that's the intuition running through us. So when I got older, it was like, holy crap, every woman in my family got some gifts, and they just don't want to believe it's that type of gift. So
I personally have bore witness to them calling each other and saying, hey, did you dream about Johnny? And Johnny was in the hospital, or Johnny died. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her whole family's got those gifts.
I really just grew up thinking that the
It was
women in
normal.
my family were just
Knowledge.
tight.
close?
Yeah.
Like new, but come to find out,
And
I'm a little
and
more
actually
sensitive.
there is some truth to that. It's just you're looking at it through a different, like it's because they were so close, they had this,
Yes.
you know.
Mhm.
But me and her, look, I'll be honest with you, the longer we've been together, she'll speak my thoughts, I'll speak hers. We'll say the exact same words in sentences with each other and just look at each other. She'll look at me and laugh and say, man, I can't believe we just done that.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's intuition. I mean, it's what you can catch from the other one.
Well, we're very connected emotionally,
Oh, yeah.
physically.
You're like my other
mentally.
half.
The yin to
Well,
the yang.
which is interesting with the whole word synergy. You know, y'all do have a nice synergy that y'all developed, and I see that spilling over into your new business, this new phase in your life. Your babies are not babies anymore, they're on school, and so now you're able to take your attention. I mean, your babies will always be number one attention, but you're able to explore. Well, I'm mainly talking to Melanie right now, Scott, you too, but you're getting to explore those things now. But I think the fact that y'all do have a very synergistic relationship is why you can do it.
Oh,
Why
yeah, it would
you
not
do it.
work if me and him were not melded
Oh, no.
together the way we are. There's no way I could do it.
But I will say, she told me long ago, during the COVID spell, and after, I mean, like I said, she was practicing, and all of a sudden she looked at me and she said, I'm being called to take this time to raise my kids until such a time comes as they start school. And let me tell you something. Well, that's the other story of how we come here. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, do you want to
So
tell
what he
that
was-
story, or we can
It's
go
like,
off?
what he's talking about is I knew I needed to not really shut down, but I needed to do a lot of self-focus on me and the kids. So stay-at-home mom, right? He has a full business that I was helping him with, but the babies need to be raised up. I am blessed that we were in the position that I was able to do that.
That's right.
Now, come down to the end of last school year, my daughter was still in pre-K, so I was having to get her at 11:30 every day. I told him, I was like, I can't do it anymore. I have to either it's go back to work with you or find another job was on the table, but we're not ones to work for other people. Like, we have to be able to be with
That's
each
right.
other when we want to. So I was like, all right, the first of the school year, when the littlest goes to kindergarten, either we open up another business or I come to work for you, and I love you, but I prefer not to come to work for you. Like, I'm boss lady too, so two bosses together kind of struggle. And not a month later, we got a phone call that we had the opportunity to buy this place. And it's like, okay, God, it's happening a month or two before it was supposed to, but
Okay.
here we are.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. That ain't all that was to that. One day I'm in Meridian, going to work to buy my parts that I buy from scrap yards and muffler shops and such. And something told me, stop what you're doing and go to Soul Synergy Center. I haven't been here in what was it, a year and a half? Going on
Maybe
2.
more. We
Maybe
had never
2 years.
been in this location.
We've never been in this location.
Oh,
And
the
they
one-
said, a spirit said, drive there now. And I said, dude, I got to make money. Bills got to be paid. Drive there now. I said, Lord have mercy. You just challenged me. So anyway, I took off and I drove from Meridian, past every one of my customers who were expecting me that day. And I came to this parking lot and I pulled in this parking lot. I had to Google the address. And when I pulled in, I sit in front of the building. They said, you don't have to go in today, but we want you to see this building for a reason. And I said,
Ooh.
what's the purpose? I didn't, the other building, and me anyway, it's history. But I said, I haven't been back since COVID. We were taking our break. And they said, you'll see soon. We left, and it was 1 month almost to the day later, we got the call on this building. And the other
Wow.
one, well, as it was, but not
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
But Spirit has a way of putting it out there when you least expect it. They don't care what you think. So we believe that if Spirit calls us to do something, you listen, because if you don't, they'll force you to listen, and forcing you is a lot worse than just doing it right.
I will tell you, it was a lot of nights of should we, could we,
Ooh,
can we?
Can we afford it?
It's
been a
it
challenge.
was not
y'all.
an easy decision, like a scary decision on top of that, but
God has told us through this whole thing. If it's sort of like that Kevin Costner movie with the baseball field, if you build it, they'll come. I promise you, that is the outlook I had on this the whole time. We backed out, went to it, backed out, went to it. And through this whole thing, every bit of this vibe came back to my wife and the day they touched school, her having time to be here. And that's what
Yeah, but we
ultimately,
bought it a month before,
I
month and a
get
half
that.
before they started
I
school,
get that.
so that one was tough. Very thankful I have a teenage daughter
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be able to do it.
But God
Right.
has his plan. Hey, God has his plan. And you don't have to know it's coming, but whenever he's ready for you, that's all there is. I mean, he'll put you where you want to when he wants you there. And that's the way we operate.
Y'all got her crying.
Oh,
Well, it's
Don't
just
say
true,
much.
sorry.
but it's the
Yeah.
truth. I mean,
Yeah.
without God, we wouldn't be where we were. And honestly, I'm gonna say something. She'll back this up. We looked in right before COVID to opening a crystal shop up in Brandon. We went, we found the location, everything was go. We were all on top of it. We were fixed to put the articles in the store. And God said, don't do it. He says, you're pre-firing. He says, I have the perfect place for you. He said, just give me time. And had we opened it, COVID would have hit, we would have shut down.
Oh my
You feel me? We
Mhm.
wouldn't have been able to afford to stay there. So, or if we did, it would have been such a struggle.
Yeah, no, it would.
So the day this came through, he says, what did I tell you?
Mhm.
So if you want to listen to somebody, listen to who matters. And that's the way we are. You know, I'm a medium. And honestly, I'm a psychic medium channeler. And a lot of people, you know, as well as I do, she knows it. A lot of people condemn us for what we do. But my gifts are God given, God blessed. I allow him to lead me wherever I go. I say, put me where you need me, when you need me, with who you need me with, for what purpose you'll put upon me. And that is every day of my life. I don't ask to run my life. I tell him, drive my vehicle. You drive better than I do. And so far, let me tell you something. My life has been so much better by allowing that to happen. And the gifts, that's what I want to express to the community. The gifts that we have and all of our friends that come here to work have are God's gifts. They're a blessing, you know, and all of these people who are taught otherwise, you're taught to not understand or not see the bigger picture.
Right.
Okay, okay. So the way that can be taken is it's God first, which we believe God first and foremost. But there are other practitioners out
Oh,
there.
I'm not
that don't-
knocking
So
everybody's
he
beliefs.
wasn't saying
No, no,
like
no.
your abilities, like you have to believe that. What he's saying is
No, they're all given by a higher power, no matter who you believe
Well-
it is. How
Well,
you
and I
look at
think
it.
people use different labels
There you
and
go.
God
That's what I-
means yeah, and God may mean different things to different people. So I'm gonna put you on the hot seat for a minute.
Go ahead.
So let's talk about free will.
I believe in it.
what about
So yeah, that's the beauty that I think of God or source or a higher self or God's whatever you want to say is they guide, they say, look, here you go, here you go. But I think we always have free will. It's just sometimes our free will, it might be a lot easier if we just listen to God and not have to go have the consequences of exercising our free will willy-nilly just because we have it. So I do admire your faith and your connection to source and God to listen to the messages, because I don't think God makes us do anything, but he sure will tell us, give us the signs, give us the messages that we need. So I admire you for that.
I mean, that's all. Even people that don't believe in God, it's the same thing with their spirit team. And I say it like that.
Yeah, they're
because
still working with
if you choose
the
not
energies
to
that they-
listen to what the universe or whoever is telling you, then you got to deal with the outcome of it. And
Well, I'm just going to say something for all of our friends out there. There's witches, Wiccans, you know, there's all types of people who believe in what they work with. It all leads back to ultimate powers. However you absorb that, however you look at it. I work with everybody. It is not one person that we work with. I give it to source because he is my number one. I work with my Native American forefathers who've gone before me. I believe in crystal magic, herbs, you know what I'm saying, in every aspect of it. We believe in mixing it up and taking from every aspect of everyone's beliefs to bring it all together to be what we are here at the center. So this, when I say one thing, I'm talking about taking it from every genre and bringing it together for the greater good. So I believe in everybody's belief. So I'm gonna leave that said there.
Yeah, I love that.
This rings to mind. I had a discussion with Kelly Smith,
So sweet.
Jackson, you know, that how not to be religious or legalistic with any form of whatever path you choose to go, you know, to be a tarot reader or a witch, but to make the practice our own. And even
Right.
if you're Christian, how do you turn this, did you choose to be a Christian? How do you have to still turn it into your own? It's your walk, it's your practice. And it doesn't have to, it is not going to look like anybody else's, you know, and that your space can be a place where people can see demonstrations of this is where people have, you know, this is their walk that they have done before, but come on in, you choose your walk. Here's all these different, you know. Well, anyway.
Because we don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like we can.
Well, I'm going to say something. Whenever she and I first came into this, really got involved in it,
Mhm.
she'll back this up.
Maybe.
You will back this up. We were bona fide church Christians. You know what I mean? It was, hold on. What do you call a Christian who just goes to church every day and listens to what's said and follows that rules? But whenever you realize that there's so much more out there before you, you're not saying don't believe what you believe. That's never what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if you were to look in the broader aspect of, my God, are we so little that we can believe that the Iranians, the Chinese, everybody that says who they worship, you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's their person. It may all eventually boil back to the same person, but they have their own beliefs, and I respect that so much. And it was so hard for me and her, well, for me anyway, to get out of my head, out of my religious background,
Yes. Yeah.
and walk forward with a clear heart and saying, I want to see what's truly out there for me. You know, what the true aspect and meaning of this gift is. Because if I couldn't get a grasp on that, how am I supposed to say I'm a channeler, medium, psychic, when if you read the Bible, it's bad in a lot of cases. So
Well, I'll say for me on that aspect, I didn't grow up in a church.
I did.
It was maybe Easter Sunday, if that, like, but we've always believed in God. So I have believed in God and Jesus, but I also, if I believe in God and Jesus like that, why can't they believe in, say, Buddha? Or
there you go.
I don't want to disrespect anyone's culture by using the wrong name, but they're different belief systems. You can have yours, I can have mine. I'm not going to push mine on yours. Don't push yours on me.
This is correct.
And the type of, because of the gut instances and the one story about the Ouija board, my mom when I was a baby, you hear of all these other things. So even though I believe in God, there's healers that come to churches. There's seers in the Bibles.
Yes.
These gifts were bestowed upon us from the day that we were born, that we were created. So you can be the hardcore, all that is witchcraft, this, that, and the other, but that's your belief. It ain't going to affect me. If you want to believe what the Bible says about, okay, let's say, for instance, man shall not lay with man as he lay with women. If you want to read that a certain way, but not read the other stuff a certain way, then you ain't reading it at all.
I agree.
So it's like reading between the lines. And at the end of the day, when I call on my guides, when I do sessions, when I do anything, the first two people I speak to will always be God and Jesus Christ. For others, it may be different,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We don't all have to believe, as long as we believe in our abilities. That's really what it boils down to.
Yes.
That was a rant, sorry.
No,
and
no. I
a
like
lot
it.
of those
Love it.
biblical passages that we read today isn't even the accurate translation. So
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
It's
They
a-
have subbed it down so much to make it their word.
Written and
Yes.
rewritten to make us follow it, fall into some kind of line that we're supposed to behave and act like. No, I'm gonna listen to myself and I'm gonna do what's right in my heart, and that's all I can do to be a decent person. I
Mhm.
mean,
and you can listen to your inner self because your inner self is striving to be in connection with
That's the
Yes,
truth.
there
Hey,
you go.
that's the biggest thing you can say to them. That's a
Yeah.
fact.
I was
him.
gonna say, do you feel being, I don't know if y'all have just grown up here in Mississippi. Do you feel that the environment, are people more open to all the woo-woo now?
okay, do we run
Yeah.
into do we feel like more people are accepting to what
Yeah.
we do?
Now in
Now.
Mississippi, I think what Emily was going to say, you've been, or like Scott, you've been to other places in the country, but coming back to Mississippi now, do you feel like Mississippi is becoming more accepting of
I will say, to answer your question, before Soul Synergy opened, and I'm going to say that under its original owners, they brought an awakening. They put Mississippi on a journey. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it that way. And all the other metaphysical centers that are around us too, not just Soul Synergy. We've got Red Jasper up in Hattiesburg. You know what I'm saying? We have a Jackson. We've got y'all who are spreading the word. So the point being, but from the very beginning, there were few. And the couple that had shut down, had shut down. So whenever this appeared, it reignited a spark, which has started a fire, and everybody's growing. Let me tell you something. In the last 5 years, I've saw a growth so astonishing in Mississippi. It has blown me away. I got chills on my legs just then at thinking of what Mississippi will be like in 10 years from now. The old, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to drop it, let Melanie speak. The older generation that had shut Mississippi down as the Bible Belt,
Mm-hmm.
they are filtering out one way or the other. Look, God's plan, whatever. I don't care how you look at it. But as they leave, people are saying, okay, you mean I'm allowed to speak this way? I'm allowed to see this way. I'm not going to be crucified if I look at it this way.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a color code. We don't have an agenda here. We want the best for everybody. We want Mississippi to awaken as metaphysical Mississippi, and all the other centers that are around us are awakening the people, and the more of us there are, the bigger this journey is going to get. You've heard of the awakening, the great awakening. Bless us.
I do want to say, piggyback off of that in the aspect of, if we're noticing more people being open to this woo-woo stuff, as Emily puts it, Scott's main business, our main company that he runs daily, he deals with customers on the road all the time, new, old, some he's known for 20, 30 years, not showing his age or nothing. Once he started down this journey, we have noticed that some that he might accidentally mention something to, or get a glimpse into his Facebook or something like that,
or like, how did we not know?
Interested in it. Like, so it's not a, oh my God, you're the devil, get away from me, as you would think being from Mississippi. It's more of, well, that's interesting. And
Yeah.
A preacher in Memphis, Tennessee, who just passed away here a while back, looked at me one day and said, "Are you this?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Explain to me how this could be." We had many discussions about it after that. You feel me? And let me say, he was coming to my way of thinking. But because I try not to say anything that's against anybody else, because he was the type of preacher I was raised with.
Right.
But you were going to say something.
So you I think I was gonna say, and then we've said it in previous podcasts, is that, yeah, like Mississippi is a very metaphysical place, and it has been for a long time. It was just
Hidden.
under wraps.
Yep.
There just in the past 5 years, I agree, the freedom to be able to come out in the open, and I think Soul Synergy and Metaphysical Mississippi did have a hand in that, but also
Oh,
just
yes.
our whole society, social media, and frankly, I know this younger generation than we are. They may have some issues, but I am so optimistic about the younger generation coming up. Like they're going to break through. They already
Ooh,
are
girl.
breaking through social, economic, philosophical barriers.
We're hoping for the best metaphysically.
Look, but I have to say this now. The newer generation are born with gifts that are wide open.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing what this new generation is.
And the more our ages that are able to cultivate this new generation being born, and like my 5 and 6-year-old, 17-year-old, I mean, those are too far apart ages. But with us being open and knowing about different gifts and abilities and things, being able to help them grow and not lose that sense of, I'm gonna start using this word, that sense of woo-woo. That
Right.
it's,
Yeah.
we don't shut it down and tell them they're losing their mind.
Mhm.
Then there's chance for everything. We just got to build them up, and cultivate's not the word I'm looking for, but I know what I'm talking about.
Well, our
Yeah.
little boy, Blaze, look, he came to me one day and he said, Daddy, last night there was somebody standing at the foot of my bed and he talked to me. I'm like, was he bad? He said, nope. And I said, well, I called on your guardian angels, your guides, your protectors, those who watch over you every night, come watch over you. Was it one of them? Yep, I think so. I said, so he didn't scare you? Nope. We try not in our home to make it, oh, dear God, let's go clear it. Now, I have to say early on, we might.
Most parents, like, it was a dream, you're losing your mind, don't study it.
Yeah.
Sometimes be like,
Yeah.
holy crap, let's go clean the house real quick.
Now, hold on. We will use sage if it's necessary.
And our kids love it. They'll stand in a line to get saged and blessed over and everything. It's the best time.
Blaze is
Family
like,
time.
ooh, get my feet.
I think they have spent more money in crystals in the past 6 months than
Yep.
I have, and I own this place.
That's no joke.
They're addicted.
Oh,
That's so cute. That's so cute.
Emily, you've been trying to say something for a while.
I know. Well, I was just gonna say that I feel like the metaphysical community, or even, where y'all center, I love to walk in there and just see people from all walks of life, all so I just feel like it is a small demonstration of what the whole world and the whole community, doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is, if you're rich or poor, if you are religious or you're agnostic, or if you're I just feel that the metaphysical community and people that I am learning and I'm meeting for the first time, like, the witches, and that I feel that they have more of a love for community than I've seen
Right.
demonstrated in, the churches that I have attended. And that is what is just,
Because they're real.
huh?
Because they're real.
They are
Because-
real. That's it. It's authenticity.
Yeah.
It's authenticity.
And that's how I can mesh with that.
So that's what I was just gonna say. That I feel authenticity. Nobody's trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. This is me.
Well, I'm going to say this now. Y'all's Metaphysical Mississippi, y'all are advertising every day. Well, not necessarily advertising. Y'all are allowing people to post on your site for their businesses,
Yeah.
for what they've got going on in the future. Not just that, y'all have so much going at your place over there. I mean, between Jason's Sound Bass or this, y'all's
Yeah.
journeys, or, I mean, Mississippi is growing so much in the places that are around us, where 5 years ago there was 2 or 3 places, now there's 30. Y'all little bitty holes all around us, but there's tons of people that are popping up everywhere, and they were already there. The word's just now getting out that they were there. And that's what I'm thrilled about, because me and Mel, we want one thing for Mississippi. We want everybody to have the best you can and come out and play with your gifts, play with your what you have, offer it to people and enjoy it.
That's what I love about what y'all are. Okay, for me, it's community. We've talked about this before.
Yes, community.
And that's what I
That's
like,
what I'm trying to
what y'all, how y'all are taking this, because it's almost like y'all, well, it's not like, y'all are letting the people get to know people behind different things. Like, I may not cross, let's just say, William Kelly. I'm gonna choose him because that was the last one I was watching. Love him to death. I grew up with
He's
him. He was
absolutely
there in the
crazy.
start, so he's like my buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know him personally. What y'all are doing with these podcasts gives me an opportunity to grow to know
Yes.
people and see who they are. Not just we own the business, we're doing this. This is me and him normal. I mean, I haven't cussed him yet, so it's not technically normal, but
It ain't over yet.
Right, right. I got some things for later. Don't you worry.
Right. Right. And for me, I'm totally coming from this with I have nothing to sell. I am
Yeah.
not a practitioner.
You're
I
selling the
just
people and
love
community.
And
stories.
that's huge.
I just love stories. And you can be somebody who has everybody's got giftings, but I could interview a kitty cat, and I have done it before, I mean, I got a lot of cats, but you know what I mean? I can have a conversation with a cat and just,
My
get
cat
a
was talk
story
back.
out of
Yeah.
it. That's why I was just going to say that I'm glad that you are picking up on that, because this Metaphysical Mississippi was birthed out through, well, my maternal bloodline. We're storytellers.
Right.
And I started somewhere else, but then God opened this up to me. It was like, let me just show. He's knocking my socks off right now in many different areas of my life. So here's my question. You see the possibility and you start seeing things manifesting. And how do you stay sane, or how do you stay rested? I have to slow down. How do you rest? You know what I mean? Because you've got this and this and this, and God is opening up so much. You got to walk, but also you got to rest. So how are y'all helping? What is y'all's routine or practice to just kind of rest, because y'all have a lot on your plate? I know you do.
Lord, you got no idea.
Or take time for one another to keep that love alive.
I actually want to take this one.
Yep.
I pick with him a lot that I'm running these 2 locations, which he has his own. So I do not make decisions without him, but I am the one physically up here.
Yep.
At the beginning of this, I didn't get into this for money. It is what it is. I don't want to go belly up. I don't want to lose our main business, but being billionaires at the end of 10 years was not on my frame. It was about the community, and a little bit of growth is great, because I'd still like to take a payroll. Y'all, I'm not taking payroll up here. So that tells you how much I want this to.
Join yeah.
On the aspect of slowing down or taking time, the point of us owning our own business and me not working for someone else is that we were free to travel and have dates and this, that, and the other. And I made a promise to myself in the beginning that it will not ruin our relationship or how my kids feel attention-wise. My home front will always come first. If I have to lock these doors, I have to lock them. My family will be first and foremost. as it is for able to take the break in vacations. I have an amazing team up here that has stuck through us with the
Oh, yeah,
transition.
Lord, yeah.
They have had my back. They have made sure things run smoothly. I couldn't be more blessed with a functioning employee at their family. This is a synergy family. Everybody works together to run this place. And if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have this location. So we make it a priority. It has to be that way.
But I'm gonna make a statement. My other business is about so stressful that I schedule vacations, little short stints for me and her. Sometimes long ones. It just depends on what's going on. Because I truly, and after taking this place over, with me and her, the stress is bad. But we just ask God every day to help us through it and give us, light at the end of the tunnel.
We have faith.
Because we have the faith. But we do take our trips. He has been generous in that manner.
Oh,
And
Go in Hattiesburg this Saturday. I mean, if we don't make it a priority,
we'll
how
lose
are
our
we
minds.
able to stay strong? I mean,
Our time for me and her, see, that means more to me.
yes.
I'm not discussing my children in this aspect. I'm just saying, if she and I aren't right,
nothing's
nobody's
right.
right.
No.
This business, my other business, there's nothing right. God gave me her, and that was the best decision I can imagine God ever doing, because boy, has she ever put her butt in my ass on this.
Without
But-
us, our family's broken, and we
Yeah.
will not have a broken family. So
She might be small, but she's mighty.
I'm sassy.
But
I am very timid though and quiet, so don't get the wrong impression of me.
No, I know.
Just on this podcast.
yeah. If you don't have, no, that's wonderful, because if you don't, yeah, thank you. Y'all helped me. So thank you. I use a lot of these podcasts as my own personal therapy sessions.
Therapy.
So your check's in the mail. As long as you don't charge much an hour.
Just come buy a few crystals.
Yeah.
Get a massage, come back to the salt cave. You make it up to me.
Yeah. But that is so true that if you know the heart of who's running the business, I can see nothing but good things coming from the business. If they care about one another, if you don't care about yourself or care about the people closest to you, how are you going to care about people who walk in your doors as a business?
That's a fact.
Yep.
So, or your employees, because they're the most important. Actually, your employee,
Heck,
they represent you. And if they, and if they feel secure and they have everything they need to fun, you know what I mean.
Well, our employees are everything. I'll be honest with you. Tracy is just wide open and crazy. Shamika, well, look, Lord knows that girl I sometimes wonder.
Who will
how
be
she
doing a
does it.
Reiki 1 and 2 class at the end of February.
Oh,
Sorry.
Look, we got Kabir. He helps out every day. Look, poor boy gives his heart and soul. And I mean, we really do. We have a team of people here that are absolutely amazing. And they make it easy on us in a lot of aspects where it would be stressful, because honestly, they all put out. I mean, they put the effort into it, but the deal is
Not the right phrase, but
now she's got to clip that crap. But there you go.
But that's us.
Yeah,
That's
Put
funny.
that-
putting out.
I wouldn't cut it. I think it's funny.
But the ultimate thing here is they love our place.
we're
They love the
family.
place, and it's a family group, and it truly does. I mean, I walk through the door in this family.
Their hearts are in it. Even when it comes to the practitioners that you don't see a lot, or the massage therapists who you never see because they're doing massages. We're all family.
Yep.
We're all pulling our own weight to make sure this.
The place operates right.
And believe me, I make sure I got time for my family, but I am working up here.
Heck
There's,
yes.
there's a lot to do with the background, so let's not.
It
I
ain't
don't
just
run
about
away.
We're going to take a short break. Make sure to check out our website, metaphysicalms.com. There we have an events calendar, a directory of metaphysical businesses in Mississippi, and we also feature practitioners or those who are part of the metaphysical community on our YouTube channel as well as podcast. You can also check out how you can get involved by going to our Get Involved page. Now back to the program.
So, my husband's a CPA, and over the years here and there, we have thought about, like if he needed some help at the office, we've thought about working together, and we never have, well, in the office setting. In our home life, I think we make a very good team, but I just want to commend y'all, because one reason why we've never done that, because, well, like you, Melanie, we saw the importance. He's a CPA, and he had a high stress job, putting in lots of hours, had a couple other side gigs too, and it was always important for somebody to hold down the household. And we had 3 kids, and he saw the value. It wasn't about, you're the woman, stay home. He's always been, do what makes you happy. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and he saw value in that.
Right. That is huge value.
But yes, and it helped him do a better job. He could be a better breadwinner for the family if things at home were running, well, not always smoothly, but we were, all the kids around. So, but anytime we did talk about me working for him, he was always hesitant, because he's like, I've had so many clients whose husband and wife went into business together, and they ended up divorcing. It's just like it. And now I don't think that would have happened with us, but so it can be very stressful to work together. So I'm going to ask a question. Of course, y'all aren't with each other all day 24/7. He's got his other job, and so y'all, it's not like y'all are up in each other's business all day, though you might want to do that. But how do you find time for yourself? Because even though you are a couple and you have a partnership, but our spiritual journey is still our own individual journey. And Melanie, you may not be able to do that. Oh, did they freeze? Oh
No,
she's
I was really going over this in my head about how to answer that.
Yeah.
We don't do alone time. It
rare.
It sounds weird. It does. It might
rare.
be random that I'll get together with my 2 best friends or my cousin, my sister, love them to death. But please don't think I'm obsessed, but it almost hurts when he's not there. Like when I'm at work or with the kids, I'm focused on the task at hand. My alone time is doing office work early in the morning before employees show up. But when he has to go out of town on the weekends or during the week to do work and stuff, or a random hunting trip, like the gym show at the end of the month, he's going by himself. That freaking sucks. I'm going to sit in my bed with my kids and binge watch The Walking Dead. I'm not going to say there's no me, because if I look at him and I say, I need to go to the store, I need to go shopping by myself, I need to do this. Sometimes I'll look at it and be like, I'm overstimulated. I need you to give me the room for an hour. Like that type of stuff.
That's what you need.
But outside of a little break, if we're not doing something, we have to be with each other. Like he wants to sit on the back porch. I don't care if I want to sit in the living room. We're sitting together. One of us is going to win.
But I
kind of like him a little bit.
Guess I'll keep you. Hey, but all
you can be together and keep your autonomy, though. Like you can actually still do be in the same room and actually be doing something together
Now
and still be.
that's the thing we can do right there. She will be over
Yeah.
there playing her game or doing whatever she wants to,
TikTok.
sitting right side by side, and
But we're there.
we're there.
Yes.
But now I will
Yeah.
say this: if I walk up in the store and this little lady is working, she will look at me and go, "I know, Felicia, you better tote your butt." Look, and I'm like, it's just easing through to get a drink, and she's like, "You better get one somewhere else." Look, you know, she's business. This woman is straight up business. When she's business, that she says, "I'll be with you in a minute" or something, you know. But I
Yeah.
know whenever she does that, I better go build my bracelets or go clean the salt machine, or you know what I mean.
In my
Garbage
defense,
duty or
I
whatever.
have 50 tasks a day,
Yeah, she does.
if not more. He walks in with 50 other tasks I told him was a tomorrow problem, but he wants them done then. And I'm like, look, son, you're at the bottom of the list.
what you
I'm
laughing
working
at?
at this. So if I tell you it's a
Yeah.
tomorrow problem, bring it to me tomorrow, because today I'm doing other stuff and it's just walk away.
Yeah.
So,
But the
Yeah.
problem
That's
for
great.
me, there is no tomorrow. For me, that's the only day I got to offer it up. And then she looks at me and says, "Text me tomorrow."
or handle it
feel lost.
yourself.
So,
You're
but we do make it. Look,
Yeah.
we make it.
Right.
She just puts her foot where it needs to be and tells me, "Look, it's gonna be."
up here, he has a business. I don't run his business. I'll help him on his business. I do charge after hours fee though. You know, if you need my help, you're gonna have to give me some money. This is what it is.
She
Up
did
here,
that the other night, y'all, by the way.
I'm running these businesses. So until you can sit down and do payroll, you're gonna have to get at the end of the line because there's 15 things to do
Y'all,
for it.
I asked this fool the other night. I had to get into my own personal laptop and it would not allow me to log in. And she laughing. She looked at me and she said, "If I touch that laptop, it's $200. I told her, I said, "I ain't paying you no money." I said, "Just touch the laptop." And I mean, I got almost in a fit because I was trying to get airplane tickets booked to go on the, you know, on my gym trip. And she said, "You can book it tomorrow night." I said, "Baby, tickets are flying up quick."
I told him I will take care of it tomorrow during business hours.
But let me tell y'all something.
I love
Oh,
that.
good. You're
I-
good.
It was a
There.
lie. Look, the truth was she took my $200. Look,
Truth
I
was, I
reached
touched
over.
that laptop.
I handed her my laptop. She physically reached over, touched one button and said, "There it is." Stood up, walked out and got $200 out of my pocket. I looked at her. She walked through the room waving it. She looked at me and said, "I told you next time you go wait till tomorrow, ain't you?" I looked at her and I said, "Holy God, that was an expensive touch."
At a certain point, your brain has to cut off. And
Yeah.
even if it's sometimes I cut it off about planning the family vacation. I don't want to talk about it right now. I want my brain to go numb. It's overworked. Office hours are 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Yeah, I can make my own hours, but
We do
Yeah.
try to do that to where when we're home, it's us. We have a certain length of time where she can tell me, "Listen, don't talk."
yeah, we got a new thing.
New thing.
Do we need ears or do we need help? If
Yeah.
we need ears, you just sit and listen. You need help, I'm gonna give you feedback, but
Yeah. That's the only way we're working it out.
not the only way. He's
But-
got makeup black eye right now, so
Oh,
Just yeah.
funny. I get it.
So, like any relationship or any well, relationship, but I mean
Partnership.
arrangement or there's I don't want to use this word. I know there's a better word, but boundaries or I know there's a better word, but I think y'all know what I'm trying to say. You respect that you can be in love and be all in each other's business, but not be codependent on each other. There's that fine line between and so I think
There is that.
that's good that you have your like, okay, we can work together, we can be partners, we can assist each other, but here's how I need to function, and here's how you need to function, and we have to respect that. And I see that. I'm sure it's not perfect. I'm sure y'all still have your, but that's what I think is beautiful about your not only your working relationship, but your family relationship, your relationship as a couple is to to know what, if you truly know the other person and know their triggers, you can, I'm just rambling now. I'm sorry. Emily,
I will tell you that
go ahead, Melanie.
we have to have monthly, if not bi-weekly, come to Jesus meetings with each other.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's not knockdown dragouts, but it's
No,
look, babe, this is what's going on. This has to be fixed. And it's communication. We
it
learned
is the
that
key.
when we first got together. That's what we laid down. If we don't communicate, this will not work. And now sometimes I hold my tongue for a little bit too long and snap. So there are.
I still haven't figured out one reason for her to be angry with me, y'all, out of all this time.
But
So,
you're giving her grace.
Yeah.
You keep giving her grace, don't you?
hey, no, truly, one thing about whenever me and her first met, coming from where we came from, we wanted to make sure that we kept our relationship tight, that we didn't make mistakes that it might have been prior made. You feel me? Because
Mhm.
everybody who doesn't know better makes mistakes early on. But if you learn from your lessons, and that's the one thing she and I sit down early in our relationship and had the discussion. We said, no matter what, don't go to bed mad at each other. That
Okay.
bullshit has, hold
That's
on.
happened a couple
It
times.
happened a
not gonna
couple
lie.
times. Hey, but not so many that you can count them on two hands, truly.
Right,
Because
right.
I've always pester-baited her through the night enough that we got it out before morning time. Might be a long night, but
Mhm.
I always believe in keeping tight. Keep your relationship tight. Work it out, talk it out. Take your liability. It's 411, by the way. That's funny, but I get every 11 all through the day.
You love them numbers, don't you?
I do, but that's one thing I can say about me and her. We always try to see to it that before something can fester, we work it out.
And it may have to start with almost a knockdown drag out at the beginning of the night, but by the end of the night, we done screamed it all out, fought it all out. We don't actually fight or
No,
whatever.
I know.
But
Right.
we get it out so that before we go to bed, it's like, okay, I don't even know why I was really mad in the beginning, but we
Sometimes you are just
miscommunicated or
frustrated.
something.
Sometimes enough frustrations build here, they build on the other ends. Our kids get sarcastic so often that one of us will snap on the other one, and that's normally what it is. It's normally the children.
Blame the
Because
kids.
look, my oldest daughter will cause you to hurt somebody, and it really is.
She's not that bad, babe.
No, she's awesome, but she's just a smart aleck.
He's just a little salty about an eye roll this morning.
She's just a teenager, okay?
And she's
That's
not
the
even the
problem.
worst.
Yeah.
She's really good.
She is.
She's
awesome.
a good 17-year-old. So the 5 and 6-year-old though, that we'll see what happens when they become teenagers.
Went to there, yeah. But y'all be so tired, you won't care, you like whatever.
Right.
So I think since you both kind of don't really, y'all work together, but y'all aren't in the same room with each other all the time, that
No.
that
He
there's
calls me all the time like we are though.
yeah.
I love you, man. That's
But I
all.
love the boundaries that you have put, like when to turn off, you're not working. Yeah, I love that. Love that. Of course, I'm curious about do you think I'm curious about previous relationships, and when did you decide, that God was telling you to move on and pursue a new relationship for what God had planned for you?
Honestly,
Uh-huh.
my 4th year wedding anniversary, almost 8 years dating, I was at work and didn't get a single phone call from him to tell me happy anniversary, and I shut off. So I was done. That's
But
my
this was
story.
your
My
first
marriage. Yep.
marriage.
My first marriage, I was married for 20 and a half years to my first
You
wife.
ain't that old.
Oh, yeah, I'm 50. But
Me
20 and a
too.
half years. Right? See there? Look at fabulous by 50. But anyway, just playing around. But I was married for 20 and a half years. And I mean, we had great days. We had bad days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And things just sort of slowly started to peter down. And
Grow apart.
we grew apart, but loved her. I loved her till the day she died. I mean, me and her were together whenever she passed. She was the mother of Megan. And let me tell you something. We actually probably had a tighter relationship in the last year or so before she passed because of Melanie and her getting so tight and everybody spending, well, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But y'all spent the holidays together.
She's still.
No, y'all were still co-parenting. I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They totally
Yeah,
co
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she would come over to our place for Thanksgiving and Christmas and whatnot, and it actually helped a lot.
Oh,
It was all for Megan's sake, of course.
yeah.
But look, that's the one thing I can say. I never had a hateful relationship with her, ever. Whenever we finally decided it was over,
Mhm.
this one, and it was over. But no, I mean, ultimately, what brought me into her was I walked into a gas station one morning at a stop I never went to and walked through the door, and I stopped and I said, good Lord, I didn't know. I heard angels was on earth, but I didn't know I was going to hit one today. And
You said that?
and here she is. Look,
You bought
boy,
that
anybody
horse.
wants
You
to pick
bought
up my dog.
Look, y'all, he said it to himself because I didn't notice him till like the third
Whatever.
time he came into the store. So
Look, hey,
Okay, good.
look, hey, don't y'all knock it. She heard it. She can't. It is what it is.
She's psychic, so I'm sure she heard it. She read
But-
your back.
But honestly, this is my partner right here. I mean, without her, I wouldn't be me without her. You know?
So I'm
and he
gonna
can
take
reach
it back
things
to
up
our,
tall.
do what now?
He can reach stuff up tall on the high
Oh,
shelf.
it was the height.
Well, you need that. I mean,
What
who
were you
needs a
gonna say?
ladder? You just marry a tall man. But so I'm gonna bring this back to our original question, I think, one of our original questions. So so Scott, you had giftings or abilities or just awarenesses from your childhood. At what point, as far as a couple, because when I met y'all, I think the first time I met y'all, I mean, I don't remember the first time I met y'all, but it was the year y'all were doing the psychic development classes, and I
Right,
was
correct.
a customer, and I think I came, I'm sure I did I don't remember if it was with y'all's group, but I volunteered as a
I think it was with our group.
sitter for, when y'all were training and stuff, and I was going to yoga classes. So I'm sure when I was going almost every Metaphysical Mississippi meetup. So,
Right.
so I'm sure that's where we met. But, when I met y'all, you were a couple. I mean, like it was Scott and Melanie. There was no, oh, Scott, oh, Melanie. It was just Scott and Melanie.
Right.
So I guess my question is, as you started your awakening or really getting on the spiritual path, were you doing it as a couple, or did you each have your own path and you were just kind of alongside each other? Is that question make
That
sense?
is a good question.
I think it kind of intertwined a lot because what I had to learn and overcome was different from what he had
Oh,
to
yeah.
learn and overcome, like in our own type of personalities and our own shadow work. And even when it goes to the modalities, he gets all of his stuff different from where I get my
Oh, yeah.
stuff. So there was no, we couldn't compare notes with each other. We could only compare experience, like share
Oh,
experiences
That's right.
with
That's
each
true.
other. So we were together, but it was our own.
Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
But a
together
journey
on
together.
the path, but it was like running.
You were
next-
still
running
on your
side.
own path though,
Yes.
Mhm.
reaching
Yes.
across, holding hands every once in a while.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest with you, through the beginning of our journey, there was a lot of darkness, a
Mhm.
lot of dark roads we went down. And when I tell you something, I mean, it was bad. And I'll tell anybody who's on an awakening, awakening is not a gentle thing. I mean, you can get took down some dark roads where you got to see your own demons. You got to face your own demons and you got to battle them one way or the other. And I had a bunch apparently. And she had a bunch and ended up taking her down for a while, and she's got back up. She's stronger now than I've ever saw her in my life. And I feel we both are. And, but that's also what has made us stronger together is the fact that we fought these battles and are where we are today. Because had we lost them, we would be messed up. You know, so yes, we came into this metaphysical journey with the thoughts that it was going to, honestly, with the thoughts that it was going to be a fun awakening. You know what I'm saying?
So cool. We
journey.
can read mine.
Holy mother of mackerel, did we get knocked down? And somebody just walked by and
I
almost got me. It was a
That was the
ghost.
real person, right?
Yeah, it was.
Your
Well, the
shadow.
spirit wasn't.
But no, it's hard whenever you first wake up. I mean, you're forced to face everything. But that's the one thing I want everybody to hear on this. Don't expect it to be all rainbows and, you know, unicorn farts or whatever you want to say. It absolutely is atrocious. You know, when you wake up, you're going to face every battle, everything you've ever done wrong, you're going to face it. And then a lot more, because the only way you become better is through the battles that you win.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So
Because we're, you know, we hear this all the time, that we are spirit beings having a
everyone again,
human experience. We are already love and light. It's not that we're trying to go get to the love and light. No, we already have it in us.
That's right.
But we have we live in a dualistic reality right now. And so to grow, we have to do that inner work. We have to, I love the way, I don't know if y'all listened to William's podcast that we just had, but we have the levels. We have where we are in this reality, but the lower level, we might say, or the shadow work and all that sometimes does have a negative connotation to it, but like it's essential. It is a part of our growth and development doesn't mean we stay in there, but it's part of the journey. And I mean, so I honor where y'all have been, and I honor where you're going, and you don't, I think one way I'd like to say what you were saying, Scott, if you're wanting to become a spiritual person to escape reality,
hold on.
no, that it's you're opening up a whole other
Yeah, and I want to add to
It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, and I want to add to the awakening part, because I say I'm not metaphysical. It's just I have not spoken this language that now I'm learning, the woo-woo part. But I've dipped my toes in so many different religions, a little Pentecostal, a little Baptist, a little
they were all Christian.
They were all Christian, but I'm saying, but I took certain like Bible studies, I had enrichment classes, I did a blessings and curses type of thing that you could even go to a psychologist, where you put your, the problem in a chair and, or you write a letter to a loved one. I've taken those steps and I realized that I've been working on my awakening for a while. And sometimes it can be in the comforts of a religion or and then we outgrow it, or we need to move to a different, or like say it, we're awakening or we're evolving to, that was too limited, now I need to, there's a new thing. That wasn't the only thing.
The blurry background.
Look, this funny. Hey, I was just looking at her auric field. Every time she moves, you can see it just shifting above her head.
Yeah. And I do have the blur on.
That's cool. That's pretty cool, though. Looks just like your physical. I'm like, wow.
No, but my mama is right back there. No, I have a picture of her. I like to have her in all my interviews.
She passed away when we were, I was 21 and you were 18.
I was 18,
and
yeah, yeah.
I tell you what, we feel her and my granny and some other of our pet deceased relatives all up in this project that we're doing. I mean,
Oh,
they are
yeah.
like,
I'm sure.
they are, I feel them. Like I just driving to the office. Sometimes I just feel them in the car with me. I'm like, okay. And I don't claim to be like, I don't practice mediumship, like I don't offer that to people, but sometimes when I'm doing Reiki sessions, we have visitors. So,
I've
they
been
show
around
up.
you a time or two, right?
Do what?
I've been around you a time or two, right?
Yeah.
So,
So, yes, God. Well, can I get personal for a minute?
yeah.
So I just remembered, like we said a little while ago, I did have some readings with you early on, and I just want to tell you that where I am right now and what I'm doing, you, whether you know it or not, you were a significant part of that. You was just a very little sliver. But Sherry Crook and we're business partners in this thing, and you were one of our first clients for the chakra attunement, and I had only done a handful of Reiki sessions, on my own, and Sherry asked me, she had faith in me and trusted me before I had faith and trust in myself, and her and I started doing that modality together, and you were very encouraging. I know I journaled it, so I can't even remember, but I didn't know where I was going and what I was doing with it, and did not have confidence in myself, much less my abilities. And you were very encouraging, and I just want to thank you for that. So I can say from personal experience, from what that was pre-COVID, so that was at least 3 years ago, maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't remember how many years ago that was, but that support and encouragement that you gave me that day, if that's the same spirit that y'all will continue to put into Soul Synergy, then you are going to make a difference. You have made a difference. You are making a difference, and you will continue to make a difference if that continues to be at the forefront of I believe that it is, but I can tell from personal experience, and we've done other readings too, but here's the beauty. Okay, I wasn't getting a reading from you. You came to me for a
I remember first room on the left and hooked right down.
Yes, and that changed my life, because I don't even remember what you said, but
I remember laying on that table and talking to you. That's crazy.
And I just want to thank you for that. And now Spirit or God has because you showed up, you were there. I mean, I hope you got a healing that day. I hope you got.
I did. I told you how awesome it was.
Yeah, but what I want to tell you is, just like with me, I mean, I feel like where I am has been a gift, because I did keep showing up. I kept showing up. Just wanted to do the work. I just want to do the work. I didn't care how, when, where, or even why. I just wanted to do the work, and I wanted to help people. And that's what you did that day. You didn't have to tell me those things, because you were the client, you were the recipient, but you did share what you felt with me, and it gave me the courage to keep moving forward. So that's what we now do for other people, like God, Spirit, Source, your guides, whoever, but we're going to say God, saw that in your heart, and that's why you have your platform now.
Someone just told me, whispered in my ear, they said, where you need to be with who you need to be with, when you need to be there. And that's exactly what I told you earlier.
I got chills.
I did too. I was lit up with them before the person
My
whispered that.
legs are
in my
just-
ear.
Is it your
But-
legs? My legs are just,
Oh, yeah, it was
oh,
both. my
Oh, now
legs.
mine are
Yeah, yeah.
too.
Hey, but that's just what you
Melanie,
said,
you have
just
to
so
say
you know.
your this. Just not joking.
She's just sitting there. She's like, I hear this. Just joking. Hey, but truly, that means the world to me. Thank you so much.
And,
But-
and thank you.
But
And
by the way, your energy work is amazing.
oh,
So-
thank you.
I remember it specifically, the fact I can tell you what room we were in. So,
I remember it, and that's kind of taken a back seat, even though I have a space now. I've kind of been so busy fostering, helping us get Metaphysical Mississippi on a new direction and opening this space that I haven't really put a lot of time and energy into my own practice, but it's coming. I think this year,
well, I will say I would be glad to lay on another table and let you work on me after the first time you did.
no
you
way.
were- that was
We'll just
rocking.
later.
That was rocking, by the way. So
Thank
that was
you.
when you were new to the world. So I can't
I-
imagine.
You were probably, I mean, you were probably my 5th client ever. Ever.
She's never really
Fair.
done, she's never even really done Reiki on me. We just did a little backyard. Huh?
But not official session. You haven't had like
Yeah.
the work.
Well, it's incredible. I'll say that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that brings me just a quick thought though. You being like a doctor, how is it? I mean, like me going to her, I almost feel more comfortable going to somebody else for Reiki than going to my sister, because So how
Well,
do
you don't
how do you two do? I mean, I know that y'all probably, he's your confidant, she's your confidant and stuff, but
He sees someone else for energy work.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But now she'll walk by me many times and say, "Hey, I'm hurting here," and I'll offer, "Hey, you want me to put hands on you?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
and that's
Yeah,
just what it is. I mean,
Right,
it's
right.
healing energy.
Done that
And-
kind of stuff, Emily. But as far as like really
Right.
a session, no.
Right.
Well, if she wanted it from me, she could have it in 2 seconds. But she really doesn't require a lot of it. Me, I require
I'm
10
like-
times more of it than she does.
I'm like selenite. I'm a self-cleansing
That's no joke.
energy
She's
thing over here.
she like a piece of selenite. She recharges
Takes
me.
care of business.
Yep. And she recharges me. I've got my cleaners around me. I'm like, I did this work today. Are you cleaning me? Yep, come on.
But yeah, even like outside of energy work, because we don't really, I mean, we do Reiki, but we don't really, that's not the top of what we
Right.
offer. We don't really exchange mediumship or psychic readings either. It's almost like it's
We used to a lot.
practicing,
Yeah.
yes, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, well, he knows what I'm struggling with right now. So of course, which I don't believe he would ever mess with a reading like that to tell me what he wants me to hear.
No, I don't
But
even
then in the
remember my
back-
readings.
But say it's like me, I'm always worried that, well, I know what's going on. Is this me thinking this, or is this my team telling me? So I prefer not to work on any family members. It's
But I
But
will say,
I like
if
that.
I'm standing there and someone tells me to tell her something, she would be open to it.
that gets a little annoying, by the way.
Hey, I quit that a long time ago.
I got a husband
So,
that likes to
My
insert it.
spirit guide said you need to rub my back. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. Your spirit guide told my spirit guide you need to come give me a back.
Ooh, that would be the one, the last one you said.
It
Yeah,
was a
I'm using
Native
that.
American that said it. Okay, so so you actually hear an audible voice.
Oh yeah,
Um
I'm
And I know you
seriously all
see.
in.
Is it outside of your ear or in your head?
I hear it in my ears, in my head, and see.
Mm.
So
Yeah. I've
So
never
I-
I've never experienced, and I don't really want to, any kind of outside. I mean, things come to mind. Just things come to mind. I see cinematic things in my head. Oh,
I'm sorry.
so I see a little movie. Like I have seen I'm seeing flashes of me, of things that are happening, and I'm starting to see it.
Good, just
Of,
trust
you
it.
know,
That's your
um,
intuition. That's psychic.
okay, but I don't hear voices, and I don't see, and I've asked the universe, God, to not. I don't want to do it.
To not
A
for
lot
it
of people,
that way.
well, a lot of people will see words, or they'll see a stop sign that says stop.
Yes.
There's tons of things that people can hear or see and know. There's times it's just a knowing that you need
Which
to
is
turn
how
left.
I get it.
She gets a knowing.
I
Yeah.
know that gut or that voice in my head that says turn left. Like which I guess that would be hearing
It's
too, but
hearing a knowing.
my gut is what leads me all the time.
Your intuition comes in typically through your gut in the first
Yeah.
place.
Or I'm starting to figure out divine appointments. Like sometimes when something doesn't go the way I expect it to be, to go with it. Like, oh, my phone is dead. I need to go into the store and get a phone charger. Well, that's going to set me 15 minutes back to where, back on the time I thought I should be at a location. But when I get to that location, had I arrived there 15 minutes sooner, an appointment would not have happened. So I'm starting to pick up on that.
We live by that motto. So we went to New Orleans a couple of weekends ago. We
Yeah.
get all the way there, done checked into the hotel room. My pump is out of insulin. We could have got mad that we had to drive all the way back home
All the way back.
in a 4.5 hours, I don't know how long it takes. But we just looked at each other and said, there's a reason we were not supposed to be in New Orleans tonight.
Yep.
It
We
is
could have
what
got
it is.
shot. You could have got stabbed. Or could have got COVID.
Yes.
You never know what could have happened that night. But we drove home and we laughed and we talked on the way home. We didn't get home till 1 something that night, to turn around and go right back the next morning at daylight. 5:30, we took the trip right back. So we didn't get but a few hours sleep. But we knew if we argued with it, something bad would happen.
Oh.
And so what was the point of that trip? Was that point just a little getaway for y'all?
Oh, yeah.
So
Just a
you still
night.
have-
It was
I get a babysitter and we're like, where do you want to go?
we
Yeah,
don't
Like,
hang out.
that was just a hiccup. I mean, that was just you still got the purpose of the trip was to be together.
Hold on. But I'm gonna tell you the worst. I'm gonna tell you the best part of this whole deal. Though, as soon as we left here, we got on the interstate, and the first car at Pearl I got behind had 66666 on the car tag, and I looked over at my wife and I said, "Do you see that car tag?" Hey, and my eyes were drawn to that car tag. They were trying to get my attention. I couldn't get around that car for 40 something miles.
It was 666 FTM.
Yep, LTM. And you know, we figured it out that night on the way home what it meant. You forgot the medicine. They blocked me for 45 miles trying to make me turn when we get our insulin. And instead, we got there, and the next day, that night, when we're on the way home, about 12:30 that night, I'm almost home, and they hit me. They said, "You forgot the medicine." I said, "Holy mackerel! Could you have just said it instead of showing it?" But they stopped me for 40 something miles to make me look at that. And I kept telling her the whole time. I said, "It's odd. This car will not move."
I can't figure out what this tag means.
Yep, I said it 10 times, and the numbers are pay attention, and 666 has always been a warning to most people.
Yeah,
To me, it's but
Yeah.
in this case, it was a warning. You forgot the medicine.
Wow.
Gosh.
So to always pay attention to what's happening around you.
And now you have a great story to tell.
I just told it.
Yes.
I love
But
that.
yeah, but just I believe in paying attention.
Yeah. I think I'm going to move out of saying that I'm a metaphysical virgin now, because I feel like now I'm getting a little more experience.
I'm thinking so many jokes right now, Emily, but I'm not going to say it. But you were not a virgin.
I'm happy, right? Now that I'm happy to be walking.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
glad my outlook is changing. And that my
Might be able to say that
motto
class
is,
starting real soon.
yeah, my motto is what is it? Walk, play, trust. That's my mantra or whatever that I was given in one of my past life regression sessions. Walk, play, trust.
Wow, cool.
And so I'm just so thrilled to be playing now. I get to play and just learn and see, let God show me what we can play with. Now he can just, yeah, we wake
Well,
up and
both of your energies are just amazing. So
oh, thank you. But yeah, we wake up in the morning. What are we going to play with today? And you know what? When I came to visit Soul Synergy, I had an agenda to do something else that day. And then I was told, you're going to play today. You're going to play. And so that's why we came to Soul Synergy that day, was to play.
Came to town. We did our first pop-up meetup in Starkville, and she lives in Louisiana, so she had to drive through Jackson anyway. So she came and spent the night, and we had work. Well, I had work planned, and she had some business she needed to take care of in Jackson, or so she thought, on Monday. And instead, she told me that morning, she's like, "No, I'm not doing that work. I got the message today was play." And I thought, okay, well, I just got to take care of a couple things at the office, but whatever you want to do. And I don't remember if it was your idea, Emily, I don't remember whose idea it was, but we were just like, we came to the office, we were just let things happen. And one of us said, well, let's go to Soul Synergy. And what, okay,
Yeah.
let's go play.
But because I played though, then I had another opportunity open up that, had I tried to make things happen that day, I just kind of had something manifest. So, I mean, it's still manifesting.
Playing, she manifested what needed to happen that was on her agenda for the work for that day.
Yeah.
And instead
right.
got the message play. So she played, but she was still manifesting that thing, and that thing still is now in her vortex. So it's
That's wonderful.
So, yeah. So I know y'all live that every day. I'm just happy to be now in that reality. It's my reality.
I'm just still shocked every day.
I mean, it's been happening to her for years, like finding $100 bill on the kitchen counter when she had a bill due.
Oh my God.
Where did that come from? I mean,
it happened to me today. So many things have happened to me today. The power company forgetting to deposit a check. I got to deposit in before they deposited. I mean, they never do that.
Hey, he held it back until it was time to put it in.
Yes. I was like, gosh, I had no idea it was even happening,
She played Monday, which somebody said, well, she should have been checking her checkbook Monday, but she played and God took care of it for her.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it is what sometimes you got to have those play days.
Well, let me ask this. What are y'all doing at Soul Synergy?
Yeah.
I know y'all have a lot of services, but other than running the business, are y'all providing any?
We are, our first class we're putting on together is Intro to Intuitive Development. That's going to be February 11th. And then we'll move into a 3-part class on psychic development together. Scott is teaming up with Nina Soaring Vulture to teach mediumship classes this year. It is all on our website, soulsynergyrocks.com. So even yoga information can be found on that calendar that's listed on there.
We're steadily posting stuff. I have to say, it's appearing that we have a whole lot coming up this coming year. And it's so blessed because 6 months ago, we had nothing happening in our venues. And now, oh, look, he's just stepped his game up and he's filling the room up. So we're so excited about it. I'm really excited to do this psychic class, intuitive class with her. We're both,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But outside of us doing stuff, we're gonna have more sound baths in the salt cave. Jason's gonna be putting them on, Jason Lee. gonna be doing that monthly. We got the Reiki classes happening. We got people doing platforms in here.
What are platforms? I'm
Crystal-
sorry.
That's the gallery, the mediumship gallery. Is that what
Oh,
you're talking
okay.
about?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
We have Sarah and Jessica, will be putting it on. But anyway, we have our metaphysical fair,
Yes, we're doing our holistic fair.
holistic, that's what
It's gonna be a 2-day event for now on. So we'll have each day, we'll have a whole different set of different practitioners. We're hoping that brings more of a draw in. We'll have vendors outside with food trucks and stuff like that. We're changing it from every month to possibly every 2 to 3 months, depending on how the weekends fall with classes and stuff.
but we think it's going to be amazing because it's going to be a whole new genre of things offered.
And we're
She's trying to- Emily,
Oh.
yeah, you were gonna say?
Oh, no, I was just thinking that if y'all do, it can be if you do slow it down to every 2 months, then it can be a bigger deal. You know, like
That's
Yeah.
what I told my wife. I said, we're definitely, it's gonna be 2 to 3 months. We've just got to really figure out, we're gonna watch how this first one goes. But we do recognize already that we have a whole new genre of people who are interested in joining with us to make it a benefit to everyone. And we're opening the doors to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? To say, come with us, you know, let's do this journey together. And I think this is going to be a whole new game.
And we're even gonna have drum making classes, shamanic journeys, like
Coming up. Yeah.
I want to learn all the modalities. So it's like, y'all come teach this class so I can learn some cool stuff.
If anybody's interested in being a vendor or offering a service, do they just contact you, Melanie? What's the best way for people to just come to the store and talk to whoever's there?
or just go on the website.
Honestly, sending an email to soulsynergyrocks@gmail.com, because Tracy's, you're gonna come in. I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be in the back working on something. And you're gonna do the whole spiel to Tracy, and Tracy's gonna be like,
You gotta
send
talk
us
to
an email. Melanie will see it. So it's like, just skip
We'll
a
get
step,
that
but come to the store though.
Yeah, we'll put that, we'll get the exact way for people to contact and put that in the show notes
Thank
and the
you so much.
description
We will.
with the podcast and on the
y'all.
website. And
Yeah.
so I just want to tell our audience, whatever we've talked about, just check out Soul Synergy's website or Metaphysical Mississippi's website, and we can click the links and follow the breadcrumbs to find what you.
Well, I'm
How
gonna
would you-
say it's been a pleasure talking to the two of y'all.
Oh,
It really has been.
We've enjoyed
Been
this
a good
too.
time.
We appreciate you opening up your heart and your story and sharing with us your journey. And this part of your journey is just beginning. So we get to be a witness and a collaborator.
Well, I also don't think this is just our journey. I think now is the time for it to become all of our journey.
It's
Mhm.
community.
It's community.
yes.
So
It is. And
anyway, thank y'all again for inviting us to do this.
Yes. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Emily, any other closing
wanna
words or
say
questions?
One last thing is that I enjoyed the salt cave, and I went there and had a session. So thank you. Y'all did I can't compare it to another one because that was my first one. So, you know, you'll always
Okay.
remember your first time, you know. So
Look, just remember, it's bigger and nicer.
We're glad your first time was with us.
I smoked
So,
after.
hey, look, we put a lot of effort into that salt cave to put it back together. So it's one of my little things that I can say I helped in that.
Yes.
It
And
is
I,
really
you know
beautiful.
what? And I felt a really, I felt when I walked into the new building part where, like I said, I've never been to the any of these either
Right.
two locations before,
Right.
but I felt very welcoming there. So
I'm proud to hear that.
Good.
That's what we thrive for every day.
Yes.
We strive to make it that way.
mhm, mhm. All right. Well, thank y'all again for spending the afternoon with us. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you to Metaphysical
Okay.
Mississippi
All
for
right.
inviting us.
Yeah. Yeah. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent.